Does it seem like no matter how much you eat, you just can't gain weight? No matter what you do, you can't put on the muscle mass. You go to an Izzy's, you go to the all-you-can-eat buffet, you eat all the food, you go into your car, you get high as fuck, you go back to the buffet for the same price, you eat all the food again, but you're still not gaining weight. This video might be for you. So if you're someone who struggles to put on weight in general, whether it be muscle mass or just overall body mass, including fat, there's usually a few key points that I find people are missing that causes a majority of the issues, right? So the first thing is going to be food. If you're not able to eat enough food, if you're not eating enough food, if you're not tracking your food properly, it can be hard to put on weight if you're somebody who has a higher metabolism or is just a little less prone to be able to pack on the pounds. Training is going to be important. I see people train half-ass, not make progress. This is probably honestly going to be the least important of the variables, but it's still going to be a huge variable. You'll just put on more quality mass with better training program. For bulking, we want to put on as little fat as possible. Most muscle, it's going to make the most sense if the muscle is getting stimulated to the max that it can, getting hit from every angle, but getting a proper recovery. Anabolics, if you are somebody who is enhanced, that is a huge reason why people don't grow, whether it be dosage issues, whether it be issues with the anabolics themselves, whether it be issues with side effects. If your liver is trashed and you are running orals, you're probably not going to pack on muscle super effectively if your liver can barely function. So bodybuilding is a long-term sport. If you're impatient, if you feel like you just always need to change things up, things you don't want to do, the mental game is a long one, so be in it for the long run. All right, let's go over food first and foremost. Number one, you're simply just not eating enough food. You might think you are, but you're not. Tracking your food, if you're in a sticking point with weight, is essential. It has to happen, otherwise you're just going to be waking up guessing every day. People have this obsession with wanting to eat clean on a lean bulk, and I get it, but what is clean exactly? I think you should eat for what fits your goals, and if you're bulking, odds are you're going to be medium protein, high carb, low fat. So you can wake up in the morning, have a stack of pancakes and some chicken sausage, that meets your goals. That's clean eating for you. If you're trying to lose weight, obviously pancakes is not a fucking good idea. So it just depends on the goal that you have. If you're someone who eats chicken, rice, broccoli all day and potatoes and is really a stickler on your diet and you're not gaining weight, you should probably try adding some more calorie-dense foods in. Eat the fucking Ben & Jerry's. Go to McDonald's. Don't go to McDonald's. But have a burger. Go to Five Guys, In-N-Out. If it's the off season, it's time to grow. People are too about their food when it comes to growing, and you just need to eat the fucking food to grow. Very simple. And if you're not eating enough of it, you're not going to grow. So calorie-dense foods make it easier. Make sure you're eating enough food to grow. Track your shit. Training. You're just not pushing yourself hard enough. I see too many people when I go in there just using machines, and it looks like they're warming up, but it's their working sets. By the time they stop, there's no slow down in the tempo of their speeds. They're still hitting at the same speed when they rack that shit. Don't train like that. At least you don't have to go to failure every set, but come within maybe 1 to 3 reps shy of failure. You might not be using enough volume too. Lately, there's this kind of high-intensity training thing that's been going around that I even myself tested and like sometimes. But for the most part, traditionally, if you want to grow, you're going to need high volume. So people just aren't doing enough volume, just not putting enough work in. You're doing 3 exercises, maybe 1 to 2 sets per exercise twice a week. It's not enough, not nearly enough. Try to get at least 30 sets in for a body part per week that you're trying to grow efficiently, at least. You might not be progressively overloading or tracking your workouts. If you continuously bench 135 pounds forever, sure, at some point, you're going to stop putting on muscle mass on your chest. You're not going to put on nearly as much if you were to progressively overload that and say at that same point you're doing 205 for 8. Roughly. With the strength comes the mass. That's just how it works. You might be using the wrong exercise for your choice. If you are trying to be a bodybuilder truly, and you were just trying to put on mass, strength means nothing. It's nice, it will help you put on more mass in the end, but training for strength has almost no purpose in bodybuilding. So if you're trying to get a huge back, huge lats, and you're just doing heavy deadlifts over and over again, and by the time you go to hit your back set, you're just so goddamn tired, you maybe do some rows and pull downs, half-ass intensity, you're not going to grow your back, dude. Compared to if you go into that workout, the first exercise you hit is a lat pull down. You work up to a heavy weight of 8 to 10. You just get a nice slow stretch at the top. Hold that. Just control your sets. The fun stuff, anabolics. So one of the primary things I see with anabolics and people not growing is simply just the dosage. People will get on a testosterone replacement therapy dose, a true dose of like 150 milligrams, and they expect to become super physiological on non-super physiological dosages. If you want to look like a fucking freak, you got to take the amount of drugs that's going to make you look like a fucking freak. If you want to look normal, take the amount of drugs that's going to make you look somewhat normal. If you want to be somewhere in the middle, do that. So if you're taking 200 milligrams, 150 milligrams of testosterone, and you're confused why you're not getting big, that's why. People are so scared to up their doses of things. Just up your testosterone dose until you cannot tolerate it anymore. Back off a little bit, add in a second compound. You could do this as slowly, as quickly as you would like. It's your body. There's no, I can only use a small dose and I need to ramp up and be as healthy as possible. If you're trying to compete, unfortunately, we know that the sport is not healthy, so stop trying to make it healthy. You can take protocols and add things in to make it a little bit more, a less likely chance to hurt yourself, but it's not going to be healthy. You can mitigate a lot of the side effects in organ damage and mental aspects and a whole bunch of shit. But in the end, if you want to get huge, you're going to have to push the doses. If you want to even just look like you're on anabolics in a bodybuilder, you're still going to have to take a pretty decent dosage. You're not using the right compounds. One, don't run oral-only cycles. Don't do any of this dumb shit that people are doing with steroids. Just run a test base, and like I said, titrate it up as you need over your cycles. As get the food in, you're going to grow. It's going to be simple. Testosterone, primable, and growth hormone. Very safe. You're going to get fucking huge if you just push the doses. Do a long, proper cycle. Don't just run a 10, 12-week cycle, especially with long esters. Especially if you're running like decent dosage of something like testosterone, primable, and growth hormone. I mean, dude, you could run that for a long fucking time and probably not have any issues. Like months and months and months, maybe even over a year. If you got your blood work checked and you had your shit in order and you're doing cardio and you have the right supplements, it can happen. You're going to put a hell of a lot more tissue on in that amount of time, gradually upping your food and pushing your training for that whole entire time than you would for sporadic bursts with orals or short duration esters. I just would not see the point in it for trying to add mass. And lastly, when it comes to anabolics, you're not getting your blood work done, you're not paying attention to your health, your body fucking hates you, it doesn't want to grow anymore because it's too busy trying to stay alive and fight. This is a big one. If your AST and ALT values are like 300-400, and yet you're still taking orals, you're still pushing it, you're still working out hard, dude, your liver is like, fuck you, I'm done. You're not going to be focusing on growing tissue anymore. Your body's going to be focused on keeping you healthy and alive, for that matter. Get your blood work done. If you can't get your blood work done, you shouldn't be doing this. Get in tune with your body. Start paying attention to things. After a long time, you will start to just notice little things that are off with your body, and when you get good at matching that with the blood work, eventually you can kind of guesstimate what's going on with your body without needing blood work. But until you get to that point, you don't know what's going on, so you need to get the blood work done to do that. And our last topic, the mental state. Probably the most important thing. Bodybuilding is a long game. A long game. I think too many people talking about, I want to get jacked now. I want to get jacked quick. People that haven't been lifting for more than 1 or 2 years naturally are now hopping on these retarded fucking cycles of all this trend and all this stupid shit. These people never do it right. They're like 19, 20, 21 years old. Don't do that shit. You want to have at least, I would say like 10 years of cycling under your belt and call that good. As far as you need to be able to go 10 years. That's a long time. Do a few heavy cycles and you'll see and feel a little bit the toll that it takes on your body. And as you get older, it's just going to get harder, of course. So the patience is key. Lift natural for quite a long time. Get good at it. That will also prevent injury because your tendon and ligament strength will somewhat grow to match. Your muscular strength isn't just gonna fucking explode while your tendons just shrink, not shrink, but just stay basically where they are and snap. Like if you were to just go from a not trained point at all and add a bunch of anabolics in it, it's not safe for a bunch of reasons. Um, you change things up a lot. I see this a lot with new lifters. You know, they'll do one plan for 6 weeks, go on to a totally different plan. They're just never doing anything consistently. And consistency is key. When I first started, I just did a basic ass 5x5 program with some assistance exercises, and dude, like, blew up on that natural, like, fuck, 14, 15, 16. Just did multiple variations of that until I kind of got more into bodybuilding and bro splits and wanted to work muscles individually. And in the end, if you can't do all of the things aforementioned, um, this might not be for you because this is a tough sport, mentally, physically. A lot of people are their own coach nowadays too, which takes a whole nother aspect onto it too. Are you coaching other people? It takes a whole nother aspect onto it too. So you have to decide if this is for you, if it's worth putting your body and organs through. And of course, I'm talking about enhanced natural bodybuilding. Great, I'm all for that 100%. That's pretty much all benefits at that point if you were lifting with proper form and doing things right. But on the enhanced side of bodybuilding, there's a lot of things you need to check, you need to take care of, you need to have in place. Why are you running 3 grams of gear if you can't get down more than 3,000 or 4,000 calories a day? It does not make sense. Why are you continuing to run gear when your blood work and health markers are fucked up and you're just turning a blind eye because you don't want to stop the cycle? Yeah, thank you guys for watching. And as always, I am still doing consultations if you have any questions related to PEDs, cycle design. Did you fuck yourself up? Your dick doesn't work anymore. Yeah, all types of things that I can help get back, help you for you, where I can improve on stuff that you already want to do, and we can do it safely. So you have someone to guide you and not just taking a shot in the dark with very serious things. And someone who will be significantly cheaper right now than a lot of the people out there offering amazing advice. So many people out there offering amazing advice, but it's not affordable for a lot of people. So I'm hoping to help right now while I am just starting out to be able to make a difference on a lot of people's lives for a very cheap price. So if you're interested in that, you can send me an email or you can message me on Instagram, pnw_physique. Thank you guys.